Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Ryan.
And we've got some news coming at you today about Robert Hendricks and some other stuff going on with CSA cases in Jehovah's Witness world. So might want to stay tuned for this show and keep your heads on a swivel because it's about to get crazy. So let's run that intro and get into this. All right, we are back live today, and boys, the stories just keep on rolling in week after week, don't they?
Yepers, the J-Dubs just can't seem to keep their hands to themselves.
No, they can't. Nor can the people inside the ranks and files keep their hands to themselves either, apparently.
I wonder if it's something they're being taught. One wonders.
I don't know, but I remember as a kid, I was taught to keep my hands to myself, and that's where all the self-love starts.
It's exactly that. They were the ones who misguided us.
And as we can see, my parents are in the chat, and they're the ones who taught me that. So thank you, Mom and Dad.
Good job, winner.
So what shall we start with today?
Actually, I thought Robert Hendricks was already removed. Was it just not official yet?
I guess it wasn't official. It's official now.
Okay.
And so what's crazy was this morning, I was trying to pull up his LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
And I had pulled it up before because I saw when Alt Worldly posted it on his community tab on his YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
And so I a few days ago, I went and I looked it up and I found it and I looked at his profile. I went and looked it up just now before the show and it's not there.
Shut up. He removed his...
I had
Stop it. Robert Hendricks.
I had no problem finding it the other day. And this morning it is not there.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I'd love to hear that, but
it's like he's trying to hide from something. Maybe a lot of us XJWs went and followed him and started messaging him or something. That'd be my only guess.
Or he's embarrassed because he's being removed from something that he was so, I don't know, proud of.
And outspoken in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had quite a status there being the Public Information Department, face, and how many news broadcasts and everything he's been on for the witnesses. And now he's no longer their face. And so he's burying it in the sand?
Possibly. I'd think that's very strange. He must have enough money that he can just go underground like that.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Because that's such a huge tool for people to, converse with others and get into specific groups, move in certain circles. Like it's a great way. And I'm surprised that he's removed that. So
I know. And, like I said, I think maybe somebody or a bunch of witnesses were probably messaging him trying to get some information. And if anybody here knows who Ron Pomo is now, that was the guy who outed Ron Pomo and got him kicked out of the organization. So, hey, good morning, Martin. How you doing, buddy?
He is a huge tool.
Yes. So it's just crazy, because I was following that story from Ron Pomo and then seeing all the stuff that he's done with the Public Information Department, throughout the course of the last year or two. And now he's just gone. You can't even find his LinkedIn profile, which is just insane.
Do you still have the link? Did you try looking at archive.org? I mean, there's not going to be anything on there, but I was just curious if there's even any remnants on the internet of them.
I'm sure there is. Like I said, I just looked up his LinkedIn before the show, like within the last 10, 15 minutes. And so I didn't even think of archive.org or tried that. So
I don't know.
might be
I don't
something
know
to,
if archive that site. Like, do they have access? You know how some things you have to have access to be able to archive it. I wonder. He's got to have some kind of info still on there. We can
oh,
find.
I'm sure there's something out there somewhere. I just don't know at the moment.
Yeah. Where's he live? Where's Hendricks from?
Uh, I don't know.
Is he in New
I,
York? I think maybe. I don't know.
um, well, I mean, the only thing, let's see here. So here, I'll share the screen because I have Alt Worldly's community tab pulled up on the computer here, and
Okay.
I'll show you what it says on that tab as of because he took pictures of the LinkedIn profile page, and this is what it said here. Oop, sorry, can you see that? Okay,
Yeah. I can see it perfect.
so New York was the last
Up
known
till March
location,
of
apparently.
2024.
Yeah, 5 years, 2 months.
5 years. So what did he do before those 5 years, 2 months? I guess just do his I don't know, he has schools or some kind of education systems that he
He took
runs.
a sabbatical from consulting practice to help build a public information department for the CCJW.
Okay, he took a sabbatical. So he must have got paid a good bit of money to take a sabbatical from a
He
consulting
must have,
practice.
because I mean, if you just look at this here, the main part of it, principal managing partner at Fiducia Communications, spokesperson, accredited public relations consultant, accredited educational planner. You know, the guy's got some, you know,
He's got some chops.
credentials under his
Yeah.
belt there, you know, and he did not come at a cheap price, I'm sure.
No, definitely not. And it's funny because, like, they make Jehovah's Witnesses feel as though, like, everybody's just volunteering, and yeah, a lot of people do volunteer, but the higher ups, the elite, those who make the rules, nah, they're getting paid for this bull crap.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They need to have a pin, like, laser focus for these guys. They can't have other things on their plates. They need to be able to focus on the lies and covering up the lies, which is a full-time job.
Which makes me wonder something else though. So if he is a paid agent for Watchtower, was he even a believing member of the religion?
Hmm.
You know?
Don't know. Well, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. I honestly don't think that any of them truly believe that it's the truth. I think they all just take it as a job and it's something to do and it's better than nothing. Like, they probably think that's some kind of religion and control in the masses, because they probably believe that everybody's, they believe babies are sinners and evil. So they inherently think that we are bad people who aren't able to control themselves. And if it weren't for God, we would just be murdering and robbing everybody.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, I think that some people have like a modicum of, like, decorum and don't just behave like buffoons and criminals.
That is a good question, Jonathan. I like that. He says, I'm curious if Robert Hendricks had 5 years to reach some kind
Oh,
of goal and they gave him the boot when he didn't get there. And that is
well, yeah.
quite possible.
When did the PID department actually change shape? Was that 2 years ago?
I think so. 2 or
Right,
3
because
years ago.
they didn't always exist. They just kind of, like, all of a sudden, like, we have this new department, or they had a
Yeah.
department and then they kinda switched it around to be, like, specifically for
Well, yeah. I mean, they're
PR.
consulting with other firms to try to, polish up their public image. And the PID was one of those ways to do that, to get somebody to be the face. Sam,
Get out.
you're going to have to pay your tithes, Sam.
Get out of here.
Buy
Hold
me a
on.
coffee / apostate weekly.
The governing body have something to say about this, Sam.
They ain't got shit to say. They can put their hands down and keep it to themselves. Thank you.
Shh. Quiet.
I like this. Ken reminding Sam to do his job. I love it.
Love you, Ken. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
people
the
are
Discord
awesome.
link. I can get the Discord link. No
Okay,
problem.
cool.
No problem. Yeah, I really would love to do more research on this dude. He always rubbed me the wrong way. He gave me the creeps. You could just tell that he wasn't genuine. He was very disingenuous and duplicitous with everything that he said. And he was able to manipulate information. Like, he's great at it. He is absolutely like one of the best I've seen at spinning things back
Yeah.
around. Right? Like, all
Well,
those interviews he's done, like, I know they were softballs, but he knows how to direct traffic.
yes, he does. And like you were saying, he knows how to direct the traffic, and that's why they hire a guy like that. Because when it comes to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, they're all about that image. And if you can get somebody in front of a camera on a TV news station, national coverage, and especially if you pay these media outlets a fee to go on and be interviewed, you can set up the narrative that you want to be put out there. And even when the interviewer tries to throw hardball questions or tries to, get in a little deeper, he's the guy that knew how to, like you said, redirect the conversation and,
Yeah.
go back to where he wants the conversation to go or his
Yeah.
paying partners to go,
Exactly. And that, I mean, honestly, that is the job of those elites, of those in the upper echelon. They've been taught how to flip things around, gaslight you into feeling like it's your problem, your issue, somebody
Yeah.
else's issue, something in, existential force outside couldn't be the JWs. Yeah. So that's a great question, Jonathan. I am super curious if maybe he just didn't get the job done because, unless again he's let go because he is involved with the stuff happening in PA, etc. And
Yeah.
just like Tony, they're like, mother fuck.
But if he is just a hired outside agent, and like Jonathan said, he didn't create his, quote unquote sales goals,
Yeah, right.
then, you here, your contract's over, you're done, you're out, we move on. So,
Boy, this is such, oh my God, you guys, like, I can't even believe we've had such good news in about 1 year. Tony gets dropped. Hendricks gets dropped. I hope their egos are in the toilet. That just makes me so happy to think about them sad and lonely and crying and at a loss.
hey, congratulations, Haven. That is awesome. Happy anniversary. That is
Happy
fantastic.
anniversary. Freedomversary.
Yes. Well, and another way I've heard it before is happy shuniversary as well.
Well, that as well, sadly.
So,
The truth for
sadly.
many XJW.
But she has her freedom and she gets to join us heathens here. So thank you for joining us and congratulations on being out for 2 years. That's
Welcome
awesome.
to the dark side. Welcome to the dark side. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about Hendricks. He's one of those people that I hate with a passion because of the power he has.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this just goes to beg the question too. So I talked about how he was the reason why Ron Pomo got kicked out to begin with.
Yeah.
If he was never a witness, I don't know this one way or the other, but say he wasn't a witness, what kind of power does he have if he's not a witness to get a witness kicked out of the organization?
And I'd want to know that. Like, does anybody have evidence of him getting baptized? Have we seen for certain that these guys who do this job, who seem beforehand, in my opinion, to be very worldly because of who the people they associate with, um, that one guy who runs some kind of charity where they're worried about freedom of religion. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember him writing articles about Robert Hendricks and saying how he met him and what a great guy, et cetera he is. It's like, this is so strange that Jehovah's Witnesses are BFFs with other religions. It's almost like behind the scenes, they're in it together. They're all in it together. As much as they try to make fun of each other and poo-poo when it comes to
Oh, absolutely.
collecting money and manipulating everyone, behind the scenes, they're like, "Yeah, dude, I like what you did. That was awesome. I'll shake your hand."
They don't care where their money comes from as long as it's coming in.
Yes, the dark side has all the cookies you could want.
And milkshakes.
And milkshake. We even have Girl Scout cookies.
Ooh, Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout.
Those are the devil.
I know. You shouldn't join the Girl Scouts. How dare you want to learn how to do certain achievements, yeah, and learn how to work together with groups and whatnot. Horrible.
And we're also LGBTQIA plus friendly.
Yeah, and that is definitely of the devil, because only gay people like to eat vagina. Well, only some gay people.
I was gonna say, what?
Well, I mean, that might be taboo for JWs as well.
I mean, it is. That is another taboo subject.
With their sexual practices anymore. They're throwing me for a loop. I don't know what they got going down.
You can't do fellatio. You can't do cunnilingus. I mean, there's just no fun.
That is just the most ridiculous. What? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Just the thought of not being able to put a private part in your mouth. That's like saying, oh God, you disgusting whore, you put your finger in your mouth. What is the, like, I know they do different functions, but it's my body and I put parts of my body in my mouth all the time. So why can't I put a part of my body in my mouth to have pleasure? The dog agrees with me.
I'm just letting you rant about this, Ryan. You notice that? I'm letting you dig your own hole.
I know. I don't, but it makes zero sense to me. Like, if we put things in our mouth, then obviously that's something our mouth can do. Elbow.
Exactly.
Put your elbow, put your nose in your mouth.
Amen. Hallelujah.
I don't spit anything out, Ken.
I'm sorry in the moment. That sounds like a personal problem. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yes, Michael, you're exactly right. They
Yeah.
use these types of manipulation in order to see what they can get away with. It's tested,
Yes.
just like a kid will test their boundaries with parents. They test the boundaries with us. How much can they get away with before J-Dubs start to moan and groan? It takes a lot for them to stand up.
How much is it going to take to make a JW moan and groan?
Well, depending how repressed they are, it might be very easy or very
little.
difficult.
Yeah, right.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Anyway.
Moving on with the news here this morning, folks. We got some real dingers here to go with those dongers.
And we're going to talk about a ding dong, probably.
Well, if you're talking about the governing body, yeah.
Sure.
They're a bunch of ding dongs.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
I mean, they really are. See? They agree. They are ding dongs. All right, now, guys, do your job and hold up your crap. Come on.
Trying to push his hand away. There you go. Thank you, sir.
There we go.
Gosh.
Thank you. Now you're doing it right. Okay. Moving along. So we've been having some court cases going on, especially in Montana. And one of the biggest contentions they've had with these court cases is Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has a database of names of people who are pedophiles that they are covering up and not giving up to the authorities.
Yep.
And this has been biting them in the ass. We know this to be a fact. This is not speculation. This is not apostate lies. This is a fact that we have documented from court cases that they have these files on hand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in Billings, we have this case going on here. And one of the things they started to talk about in the court document, which this is a 25-page document, all the links for my topics today are in the description of the channel. So this document is linked in the description as well. When I go to page 6 here, it starts talking about, it's under the topic of factual background. I'm sorry about the dogs. My kids are coming downstairs. And, oh, they're just so loud.
I hear this footsteps.
Yeah, they're trying to help shut them up for me, which I appreciate. So basically, here it says, in 2013, during the course of discovery, 2 document demands expanded the scope of the records needing to be held. The demands included all of the U.S. congregation's responses to the March 14th, 97 letter from Watchtower, New York, and the records and communications reports relating to child sexual abuse from 79 to 2013. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they know they have these records, right? And as a result of it, of them holding on to these records, they have again been fined. And here's what this court document says. It says, since Watchtower, New York does not contest plaintiff's statements of expenses and fees, the court awards plaintiff's attorneys $52,976.19 for Watchtower, New York's sanctioned conduct in this case, and in the companion case, Roland versus Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. They are literally being fined for not giving up their records.
Yep. They refuse.
This just shows
pay
the moral depravity of these bastards. They would rather pay money from the rank and file's hard-earned pockets to cover up child sexual abuse offenders than to open up these files and turn these assholes in.
Yep. 100%. Protecting the organization above all.
And this goes back to what I was talking about just a minute ago with Robert Hendricks. It's all about what they're showing the public. They want to put on a public face like, we have no problems. We're great. We're wonderful. And it's all a freaking show. That's it. They're just putting makeup on a turd.
Yep. Lipstick on a pig.
You know, and it's just absolutely deplorable that these guys even do that. And I've said this 1,000 times. I know I'm beating a dead horse with this, but like, if you're really the one and only true religion, you should be setting the example of how these things are handled and turning all those records into authorities and letting them handle it and getting rid of these people out of your congregation rather than harboring them.
Yep.
But when you harbor them like this, you're putting not only the congregation in danger, but you're also putting the community in danger because you still want your baptized members to go door to door. So you got them knocking on doors of potential children. And also you still have them out in the community, period, without them being on any registered sexual offenders list for the community to know that these people are dangerous and to stay away from them. So
yes, Asher is way cooler than Jehovah Watch Me Tower.
That's not even what we're talking about, dude.
But he's right, because Jehovah approves all of this shenanigans. At least that's the way, if you ask me, the way that Jehovah's Witnesses behave paint Jehovah in a terrible light, because it
Yeah.
looks like he approves of all of the misinterpretation and manipulation, control, etc. It's divinely sanctioned by God through their, like, they're the mouthpieces.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so I mean, I get tired of these stories almost just because of how sick and disgusting it is. But like Jay says here, they don't want to bring reproach on Jehovah's name, but they are bringing more reproach by covering it up.
I How can you think that having this news released of them having to pay fines because they refuse to hand over, child CSA, let's just say CSA, that's probably the easiest way without getting in trouble, is they refuse to hand this over in the public eye. Like, I guess they just think that nobody's going to know and nobody's going to see, or not enough people will know and see, because that would completely turn me off to ever wanting to talk to a Jehovah's Witness if I heard about this.
Right. And for your question in the moment, why can't authorities raid the headquarters? He says, I mean, the FBI raided Trump's compound. You're right. However, I think it's in this country, because of the laws they have for religion, they don't want to interfere with that. They want to stay away from religions as much as possible. And if they did it to one, they're going to have to start doing it to all. And I don't think any politician or anybody wants to get involved in doing that, because it's such a huge can of worms. And I know that's bad and it's terrible, but I think that's just what it really is. I mean, you open up that can of worms on one religion, you're going to start opening it up with all these other ones that do the same exact thing. And it's just going
Mhm.
to be a mess in the legal system.
Yep. They're probably terrified of that happening, of that being torn open, that scar just being ripped right open, and all the world's religions being shown for what they truly are.
And especially because, maybe not so much with Jehovah's Witnesses, but with other religions, they are so heavily involved in politics. They're in the political arenas and all that. And all their friends are in it as well. And so they're all buddy buddy. So it's kind of a system that harbors it, unfortunately, and nobody stands up to it, because they would all lose their positions and their money if they started going after these religions for it. And that's really the bottom line. They're going to lose their money if they do all that.
Yep. 100%. I just think it's amazing that Philip Brunley thought he could get away with lying as an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Wild to me. Maybe he thought that Jehovah's protection was an actual thing. Maybe he's an actual Jehovah's Witness who believes in the truth and that Jehovah has some kind of divine power. I don't know. He gonna find out. He finding out quickly. He's just
Yeah.
another number. He's going to be used, and his name is going to get thrown under the bus. Love to see what happens with him if he still sticks around.
And I absolutely agree with that, Mr. Compassionate Apostate. We do need to get to the point where
Yep.
religions, can't be allowed to trample basic human rights or have special rules, and they need to be held accountable 100%.
Yep.
Absolutely. But I think at this stage of the game, it's such a long way away that we won't see it in our lifetime, unfortunately. But we can start setting the foundations for it now for future generations.
Yeah. We can. We can make changes. We just have to hold them accountable and not be afraid. Just means
Exactly.
sadly, it just means a lot of people lose everything.
Yeah, it does. But, I'd rather a lot of people lose everything financially than for all these children and abusers to be covered up and harbored inside these organizations.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money that makes abuse of a child worth it.
Never, not for me. I guess for the JWs, they have different barometer for that kind of thing.
I guess so. I mean, your outlook is completely different, I'm sure, when you're rich and powerful like that. But you know
Right, yeah.
what?
The elite move so differently than we do. They don't have to worry about the legal battles and stuff, and when they do, somebody just pays for it, like, it's whatever.
Yeah. So, anyways, did you have something you wanted to cover today, Ryan?
Um, I just was gonna tell you guys, I didn't know if you saw that in Reddit, somebody said that, Stephen Lett had given a talk at the I can't remember what assembly hall was. I have it up here somewhere, Fremont Assembly Hall, and he was sat down while giving it. Has anybody heard that? I went back to the Reddit and I was like, well, do you have pictures?" And the guy said he screenshot pictures from the person's Instagram that they follow who posted it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that means, are you going to post like that question? Like, do you have pictures usually means, can you post the pictures? And they just answered, yeah, I have some pictures. Like sometimes Jehovah's Witnesses, I think, are just intentional. They try to stress us out on purpose. Like, if you have photos of that, why would you not share? I don't get it.
I know, right?
I mean, I understand why the person who took the photos didn't, because they're not taking them to be facetious. They're taking them probably because they care about Let. But the person who knows Let is a POS, screenshot it, cover up the person who took, cover the personal information and share,
Yes.
share.
Advertise, advertise, advertise.
Right. We have to utilize their same methods.
So here's a little side note for something I just saw pop up yesterday on Facebook. Apparently there's this what was it from? It's it's supposed to be from uh like a trailer for the convention this year. And in the background, and seen several people say this, that they got the satanic symbol up with their hands where they go like this, right? And I went and I looked at it. It's not that whatsoever. I can't hear you.
Oopsie, I hit the when I move my mic. Is it just the I love you symbol?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love you.
I'm going to show you on the screen right now here, the picture. You can see it right there. And let me zoom in. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, I see it. It up on the shelf. It's just a
Yeah.
oh
And
my
I mean,
god.
if you look closely, you could see the thumb. If you see my mouse, you could see the thumb going off to the side. It's an I love you symbol.
Right. Oh
And
my
people are going crazy, posting on Facebook. Oh, they got the satanic symbol on the Watchtower's new video. I'm like, guys, it's
chill.
an I love you hand gesture. Chill.
Yeah.
Quit spreading things that aren't true. This is ridiculous. People want to get so caught up and try to spread every little stupid thing they can. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then that kind of like when you put out those kind of conspiracies, it does make us all seem a little bit off our rocker. And I love a conspiracy theory for certain. I like to at least explore them to make sure they're not like real, but most of the times they're just, you know, nothing. It's fun to talk about, but
And Sam, it's ASL, American Sign Language, and that is I love you when you do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. I actually, for a time, did work with the sign language congregation and learned a few things, and that was one of them. And
Yeah, I
I
remember that
actually
from a
even knew
kid.
that before I did that.
Yeah. It could just be like an American thing, I don't know.
So I mean, but my whole point is though, when you see something on Facebook or something, it's just because somebody says it's one thing, it doesn't mean they're right.
Yep.
because they obviously didn't look into it. They just want to jump the gun, put something out there to mess with people, or they see something and they don't see the whole picture. And boom, we're spreading these rumors and lies about stuff that just simply isn't true.
Nope. Not whatsoever. And then again, it just makes us all look like we're out off our gourd. All the apostates.
Oh, look at these apostates. They think it's a devil symbol and it just means I love you. Ha ha. What idiots. No.
Yep.
I mean, some people are idiots. Yeah. But I try not to fall
Not
into that
100% of the time.
category.
Right. We're doing the best we can, damn it. We were
Yeah,
raised JW. What do you expect?
exactly. So, anyways, I think that will do it for today.
Awesome. Yeah, it is. It's
So,
an emoji on your phone. Exactly.
yeah, it is. So, it is what it is. I do remember, though, that I had the sign language people teaching me the bad stuff, even out in field service. So, that was fun.
Oh, I love that. That's one of
because
my favorite things about learning new languages.
they were saying how there was this one person who was learning sign language, and they apparently had the circuit overseer over for dinner or something, and they wanted to say they had something special, and I think it was like this was means special, right? But if you put two fingers over like this, it means fellatio.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's one of the, it's either two fingers or the one finger. I might have it reversed, but I know it's one of those two for sure. And I just about died when they told me that. and so the person was trying to tell the circuit overseer, I have something special, but they used the symbol for fellatio.
Well, that is special.
So let's end the show on that high note.
And on that note, it was great to see you guys. Thanks so much for joining. Good to see you.
Yes. Yes, please, like Sam and Ken said it earlier, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to get this out to the YouTube algorithms. And also, again, and we say this every once in a while, if anybody who listens has a story that they hear of and they don't think we've gotten to it, please message us. We always welcome stories, and we always love somebody, sending something our way to report on and read up on. So, please feel free to do that. Sorry, Stuart. Sorry you came in at the end, but you can catch us on the rerun after it's over. And then, do better next week, man. Do better next week. We're on at 8:00. That's all I'm going to say.
Set a damn alarm. This is important shit here.
Do what my parents did. My parents literally would take a sticky note and put it on their TV to remind them.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. I have, I do sticky notes all the time because otherwise I will forget stuff.
Or you could just set a reminder on your phone, that's what I do all the time. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Jonathan. And support Jonathan too.
Jonathan. No, yeah. Definitely support him too. He has a good channel going on, and please go check out his stuff on the Apostate Coalition as well.
Please.
And with that being said, thank you all for joining us again this week. We love you. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week. And don't forget, apostate your way, everybody.
Listen, obey, and be blessed. We will bless you.
Next week.
Blessing. Yeah, we're going to bless you next week. Bye.
Bye.